We can't seem to get enough of presidential politics this season. Television ratings for the debates have set new records, but we in the U.S. are not the only ones watching. Scott Thuman was in London recently and is back to tell us about a little investigating he did into pub politics.
Yeah, that's right. As you know, Cheryl, we've been all over the globe this year for Full Measure, covering stories in multiple countries, and no matter which one we are in, I am constantly asked the same question over and over. Is this Trump phenomenon for real? An ocean away on a Saturday afternoon at a pub in downtown London, an equal measure of pints and politics. American politics, that is. If you had to sum up what you've seen so far in this presidential cycle in a few words, what would those words be?
Bizarre.
Bizarre?
Circus. Unbelievable.
Total fear.
Terrifying.
As a whole, do you think Brits have a candidate they back more than anyone else?
Anyone but Trump, probably.
Anyone but Trump.
I do hope that Donald Trump is not the next president. Please.
Are you just praying right there? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I think even the non-religious people are praying.
Is that because you're more aligned with the Democratic Party, or just because you don't think any of the Republican candidates are?
It's fear. It's fear of the It's genuine fear of the Republican candidates.
I think if you were to see a Republican more along the lines of John Kasich or
I can live with that.
Or a John Huntsman or somebody like that who was more towards that centre.
There was actually a debate here among politicians on the concept of banning Donald Trump from coming to the UK. But the fact that that took place, do you think that speaks volumes?
I think I was an American. I think I'd find that quite striking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as for Trump's rivals,
Ted Cruz has a track record of working in Congress to form alliances. He understands how American politics works. He can probably get things done that Trump can't get done. So Cruz is potentially as dangerous, if not more dangerous than Trump.
He's also a very accomplished Supreme Court litigator as well. I think that he would know how to use that.
Overall perceptions of Hillary Clinton?
She's not actually mad.
Exactly.
She has a track record. She's worked tirelessly. She has a huge amount of experience. She doesn't go around making crazy remarks.
Here, things like Benghazi or foreign policy mistakes that may have been made don't get the scrutiny here. So I think people have perhaps a more favourable view on Hillary than they might do in the US.
If Britain could pick the next president based on the current candidates, who would it be?
I think that's very
Sanders, 1,000
Magic
times.
wand, I'd go for Bernie.
I think if you were to look at people where they are on the spectrum, I think more people would be closer to Sanders.
Around the corner from the pub, commentator and longtime foreign affairs correspondent for Sky News, Tim Marshall.
How can a country of 320 million people end up with, for what for me is a tired dynastic candidate on one side, and this chap with an odd haircut on the other? I mean, obviously there is more to it than that, but that's what it's boiling down to. We're thinking, since when was America like this?
He says while in 2008 the world watched with an air of excitement, this time they're even more wrapped with attention and unease.
I think overwhelmingly there is this the best that the country can give us? Secondly, it is, if this guy Trump gets in, will he be stable, basically in charge of our security? And the third, you can't get away from this, we are looking at this and it's entertainment. We're quite enjoying it.
So when you look at what's happening right now in the presidential cycle, do you see it more as an amusement, as comical, or do you see it more as serious and scary?
It's now serious and scary.
It's getting to that stage.
Very serious and scary.
Terrifying.
Well, whether it is out of fascination, fear, or even admiration, Trump is dominating the airwaves in other countries, many people admitting that they have never paid so much attention to an American election, and it is all, they say, because of Donald Trump.
In fairness, let's point out, tell me if I'm wrong, Europe is more liberal than the United States even, so they're more likely to view our Republican candidates negatively.
Yeah, very fair point. And Tim Marshall pointed out that we have our left and a right, they have a left and a right. It's just that our right is further than theirs. But he said if people were well versed in the other Republican candidates, he says they would be just as fearful. It's only that Donald Trump right now is the big headliner.
All right. Scott, thanks so much. Still ahead on Full Measure, we reported on the highly secret 28 pages last September. Now a report that the White House may release part of the 9/11 document with help from America.